anything.
Welcome to Tea Time with
Gina
and Annie.
Hey, quick helper.
Yeah, welcome back. We're so happy that you're here with us. Today we're going to do something a little bit different, a little bit lighthearted, kind of a get to know you session. And we have some questions that we're going to answer, that we haven't really formulated an answer to. So
No, we kind of just a stack of cards, and we're just gonna pick one, and whatever flies out is gonna come out.
This could be very dangerous.
Yes, we
Okay?
apologize ahead of time.
Yeah, let me
We're
just
sorry.
say this might be a PG
sorry.
show. We don't know yet. Okay.
Oh, we gotta keep it G, Annie. Keep it G. Okay,
yeah.
I'm gonna do the first question. I'm gonna ask, and we're gonna both answer. I'm gonna ask. She's gonna ask, but then we're both gonna answer. Okay, just so you can get to know us both a little bit.
I might need to breathe for a minute. I don't know. I don't like to be put on the spot. It's not who I am. I like to prepare.
It's gonna be fun. Let's have fun.
Okay.
Okay. So the first question is, what's drastically changed about your mental or physical health in recent years?
I got
That's a good
older, and my brain don't work like it used to. Squirrel, squirrel, squirrel. Like anybody else?
Yeah, I think for me it's my memory. I just forget things. I'm very forgetful, which turns into issues sometimes because somebody tells me something and 5 minutes later I'm like, what, where were we? Oh, I forgot. So I'm having memory. I think it's just memory. Memory goes after a period of time.
Yeah, well, mine's
See,
been
that
gone.
was safe. That was an okay question.
That's okay. All right, let's see. I'm a little bit nervous about this.
What's my hit me?
Okay, what friend have you known the longest, and why are they still your friend?
Oh my goodness. I would probably say Martha. For me, we were friends. We met since I don't know. I think we met at her wedding, and because Steve was friends with her husband, and her and I have been best friends for years, and she's been. We've been still besties with you too, Annie. But Martha's been like we raised our children together, and we've had our babies together, and we just. She's been somebody that I can always just say, hey, I need to talk. Can we keep this between me and you? And by the time the conversation's over, we've prayed. So, I mean, it's, Martha.
Mine is Jesus.
She Martha.
Mine is Jesus.
Oh, you're so spiritual.
And so, I am. Yeah. Okay, next. My turn. Okay. What's something your parents didn't teach you, but you wish that they did?
French.
Same. Because it's such a lost dialect. There's so many people who are Cajun French who did not learn it. And I have to say though, and this is a funny story, it really is. And I might have told this at one of my seminars, but my papa spoke French, and we traced his lineage all the way back to France, and he was part of the Great Dispersion in Canada. And so when I was a young girl, he would teach me French words, but they were not good French words.
No, not the good. That's the only ones I learned. They were the bad words.
They were the bad words. Yeah. Okay. And
we all learned them. You have.
Yes, you did. And so I was about 7 years old, and I'll say this real quickly. And he taught me the equivalent, the words that kind of mean in English to kiss your behind, like that, but he taught me the French words, and he told me that it meant I love you.
Can I say it?
No, you cannot. So he said it means I love you, and I was like, oh, and so he was like, now Annie, you know how to say it, right? And I was like, yes, Papa, I know how to say it, and I would be like, ba, 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 ba. And he's like, that's very good. So when you go to school, you tell everybody that, and I was like, okay, Papa, I will. So the next day was Monday, and I get on the bus, and I look at my bus driver, who I adore. Mr. Buddy, he was the best bus driver, right? And I look at him and I say, ba, 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 ba. And he looks at me and he kind of gives me this look like, what did you just say? And I'm like, hell, and I go sit down in my seat with my big school bag, and I go to school, and all throughout school I'm telling my friends bop, 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 and they're like, they don't know. They're city kids like me. They don't know. And so when I go to get on the bus and I'm going back home, I get on the bus and I look at my bus driver and I say bop, 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 and he just looks at me and he's like, sit down, Annie. And I'm like, ooh, that wasn't a good tone. Why is he telling me to sit down like that?
I just told him I love him.
Right. Why is he not receiving?
Does he not love me back?
Right. What is the problem? And so now I'm overthinking at 7. And so we pull up to the bus stop, and I see my mom coming. And when I go to get off the bus, I look at him and I say, Mr. Buddy, pop, 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 pop. He said, Annie, that is not nice words.
Do you know what that means?
Yeah, and I looked at him and immediately, this goes back to the ugly crying in the first conversation. I immediately started crying and I'm like thinking I'm in trouble and I'm like, no, my papa said it means I love you. He said, that's not what it means. It means kiss your behind. And I was like, what? And so now I just know I'm in trouble. So my mom's approaching the bus and I'm like, oh man, I'm going to get it.
I'm dead.
He opens up the door and he tells my mom, he says, because they knew my papa was a prankster, and he said, Joanne, was Tom at the house this weekend? And she said, yeah. He said, listen what he taught Annie. And he's like, Annie, say it. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. And so she said, she was from the country. She didn't know. And he said, this is what it means. And my mom just shook her head. And Mr. Buddy said, don't leave him alone with your children anymore. Because that's what Cajun French papas did. They gave us coffee and our milk and taught us how to curse. Okay?
My grandma watched little Young and the Restless and taught us all the bad words.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm there.
Yeah.
The only French saying that other than the bad words that I ever learned, my uncle used to always say, when I'd bring a boy home, he would say this sentence, "C'est pas vos pas de un chien crevé salala." And I was like, and I didn't know what that meant, but it means he ain't worth 2 feet on a dead dog. So that was the only thing I ever learned. Say
that 5 times fast.
I know, blah, 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 blah. No, but I knew, but they said that until the day I brought my husband home, and then they never said that about him because they knew he was a keeper.
Yeah. Just
okay,
like
next
mom.
question.
All right, your turn.
What's one of your weird quirks? I know what
you-
yours is.
I say you know a lot. Or you
No,
heard.
you say you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I
don't know what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm
She
saying.
doesn't. Sometimes she does.
It's all good. Yeah.
I don't know what a weird quirk would be. I don't know.
Girlfriend.
Talking too much, maybe.
Girlfriend.
Yeah, just taking a breath.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out when to,
Girlfriend. All right.
Your turn.
What's a clear sign you're not as young as you used to be?
Maybe the wrinkles.
Mine would be the drawer of peepers. Anybody? I got like Fred Sanford,
Yes.
95 peepers that I keep. And so in the morning time, I
Yes.
start off with a low voltage of them, a low.
Losing your eyesight and memory for me too.
And then
losing my
I start
memory.
off at like 100, and by the end of the day, I'm at 500. I look like I got bottle cap eyes because I'm tired. So I think it would be the drawer of peepers. Yes.
All right. Well, what is something special? Okay, don't start ugly crying on me now, Annie. Okay, what is something special that you've lost?
Oh, a child. Yeah. There's a testimony in that.
That'll be another episode, and I'll say the same thing. I have.
Yeah.
I've had 10 pregnancies and I have 4 living children. So I've had my share of losses too. So we're going to leave it at that for now.
Yes.
Because we want to keep this episode fun and uplifting, but that will be another topic for another day.
Yes, because there's
Amen?
a testimony in
both.
that.
There's plenty of testimonies across the board.
What fashion trend are you praying dies soon?
Ooh. The ones where the pants down to and the drawers sticks out. I mean, come on, the consons. Let's see another key word. You know what a conson is? The men's drawers. I don't need to be seeing your butt crack in your consons. I wish that would die and never come back.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think somebody just walked one day with their pants drooping, and all of a sudden it just turned into a new
bell
trend.
bottoms. What's happening with bell bottoms?
I like bell bottoms.
This is the 80s. Like I can handle the 80s,
bell
right?
bottoms. I like
But bell bottoms. Bell bottoms. Okay.
Okay. What do you admire about me?
Oh, I admire your spunk. You're very spunky. Yeah, you're very spunky. You got a lot of spunk. Yeah, and you're driven. You got a lot of drive, and you just got a good heart. You like to see the best for people. That's what I like. Unlike myself. Yeah, so okay.
I'm gonna ugly cry.
Oh, that's on you, girl. You ugly cry, that's on you. Yeah.
Well, I think what I like about my favorite thing I admire about you is the fact that you tell it like it is. You're very straightforward, but you're not afraid to tell me the truth.
Yeah.
And a lot of friendships are based on just fake facades and just, casual, acquaintance kind of conversations.
Right.
But when I leave after having had a conversation with Annie, I feel like we've had a heart to heart. Like I feel like, you challenge me.
Right. Well, that's what a good friendship does. You know what I'm saying? It can't always be roses.
All right, my turn. How long would you last alone in the wild?
Negative 0.5 seconds because there's bugs and dirt, okay? And if the one thing you want to know about me, you can just ask my husband. I am going to clean everything and organize everything. When we go camping, it was a nightmare. You guys.
Is that the wild? Is that considered the wild?
Yes. Anything that's
camp in the wild?
Anything that doesn't have pavement is the wild, okay? And so
You camp in the wild?
Yes. Listen, I convinced the man.
I need a toilet. Any place there's a toilet?
No, because campers have toilet. No, because I convinced my husband to buy us a camper. And so he's like, okay, we're going to start with a small one. And we're going to put a little one so that when we go camping, you know, you can see how you like it. We can graduate up. And I was like, okay, this is going to be great. Well, little did he know that, you know, I turned into this interior designer and I started gluing pictures to the walls in the camper. I started.
What does that have to do with the wild?
Because, you know, we would bring the camper into the wild and you couldn't bring any dirt into the camper because the camper was completely pristine. Like when you walked in, you can see like.
How can you be in the wild and not get dirty?
No, it couldn't happen. And then we had dogs. And so the dogs would have little foot baths that they would have to put their feet in before they got into the camper. It was bad. It was bad. I mean, the poor man
well,
went
if anything taught me how to live in the wild, it would be our mission trip to China. When we went to China, that was about as close to the wild as I hope I'll ever have to experience.
They don't got toilet paper, brother. It ain't happening. It ain't happening.
Yeah, we need we have to have toilets, Western toilets.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Your question. Next question.
No, I'm out of questions. So if you want to give me one, okay.
Got 3 left.
What's a situation that wasn't funny at the time but is hilarious now?
It sure sounds like what you just said.
What? About camping?
Story about the camping in the wild.
Yeah. Oh, it had to be our wedding night. Our wedding night. So I got married later on in life. Like I was a singles minister and I stayed single on that pew for 40 years, right? And then God brought me my blessing. That's my husband. He's my blessing. And so we reconnected at 40. We actually went to elementary school together. And so we had a big old wedding at 40. Like we just blew it out, right? And so after the wedding was over, we invited 200 people and 350 people showed up. So we were out of food in the first 15 minutes, right? And I'm like, oh my God. And so they were trying to prepare more food. I'm like, go to Popeyes, it's down the corner, right? And so we are having this big thing. So when it's over with, and we're going home. You know how you're supposed to save the top of your cake and you're supposed to eat it the next year?
A year, right.
Yeah, well, I wasn't going to eat it anyway because it's gross, number one. So there's that. But I was just going to be nostalgic and save the cake. So his best man, he was bringing the cake down on a cart that was going down a ramp. And, you know, he's a little cassade. And if you know what cassade is, he's a little cassade. And so he decided he was going to play jack on the surfboard on this cart. Well, he hit a bump that he didn't anticipate. He went one way. The cake went flying the other way, and I was crying my eyes out. I'm like, it's a sign. This is not good. My husband's like, Annie, it's not a sign. It's not a sign. It's a mistake. It's whatever. And so, you know, I cried for like almost 3 weeks behind that doggone cake that I was not even going to eat. And so, but now we look back at it and we laugh because the cake just landed on the concrete and exploded. So,
well, I have a funny one too, but it's not from our wedding. It would be from our honeymoon.
Oh.
And we were out.
Your husband shaking his head no.
We went to the mountains in Gatlinburg and went up to go driving through the mountains one day. And I had to go to the bathroom, like in the worst way. And I'm trying to hide because, you know, you're still newly married. You don't like going to the restroom in front of each other. And I'm just trying to go hide in the woods someplace because there was no bathrooms. And he's following me with the camera, trying to take a picture of me. And so we just have some funny, you know, honeymoon stories. The other one I will not get into.
Yeah,
okay, next.
Good. It's a G-rated show.
Yeah, it's still a G-rated show, yes. Would you rather win a trip to Las Vegas, the beach? I say the mountains because I love the mountains. But would you rather win a trip to
the beach.
Las Vegas, the beach,
my
the mountains, or New York City?
I would love to go to the beach. We live so close to the beach. I love to hear the waves. I hate the beach during the day, but at nighttime and in the morning, you just get that
beach
serenity. My husband is like a gecko on hot sand when he has to go to the beach.
A gecko? What's a gecko?
You ever see those
gecko?
A gecko. You ever see those little geckos
yes.
run? That's that's my husband running across the sand. He cannot stand sand. And it is the funniest thing to see him. He's like, God, he's laying down because, again, I'm OCD and overcompensate. So we have a tent, we have chairs, we have blankets, we have a vacuum to push the sand out the tent.
And a water bucket to wipe your feet in.
So he's laying down like National Lampoon's trying to run across the sand to get to the edge of the beach. So so we don't visit the beach very often.
I just think it's funny how she pronounced gecko. She said gecko.
Yeah, that's what I meant, gecko. Yeah.
Okay, last question, and we're going to wrap up this episode. What's one thing you want to do before you die?
You want the serious one or the funny one?
How about both?
The serious one would be to make heaven stacked. Just to tell as many people as I possibly can about Jesus. And that, Jesus was a funny guy. He was a good guy. He's not like, woe is you, you're fixing to die, damnation for you. That's not God. God is a loving God. I mean, he's got a sense of humor. Look at some of the things he created. You know what I'm saying? Okay?
Hello.
I mean, that's one of the things that I wish that I could instill in people before I go. And I think that's the most important one. So, yeah, how about you?
One thing I'd like to do before I die. There's not really places that I'd like to go and things that I'd like to do. I mean, I guess I always want to live old enough to enjoy my grandchildren and just be able to live a long life like the Bible promises us to live a long life. Mm-hmm. And I would guess that would be about it. Just to live long enough to die an old lady, not older than what I already am.
Right.
But stay healthy and see heaven.
Getting old is hard. It's not.
It is.
I'll tell you. Billy Graham wrote a book, and I would tell this to people all the time when I was in the nursing home, because they're depressed and they're hurting, and most of them are alone. Believe it or not, they're abandoned by family. And I would tell them, listen, you're a warrior, because getting old is not for the faint of heart. And his book, Heading Home, I think that's the title of it. And if it's not, you can correct me in the comments. Every day we wake up and something's happening to our body, and it's not what it used to be. And you have to face the reality. Like at our age, we have more days behind us than we have in front of us. And so that kind of puts things into perspective to say, what am I doing with my life? And, here is the one thing that you should be doing with your life, is just living it for Jesus. Every day, just getting up and saying, Lord, I give you my life. Use me in any way that you see fit. He's not going to ask you to go to China and take a squat. Trust me, he's not going to do that. He's not going to ask you to go camping and get your camper dirty so you have a nervous breakdown. He's going to use you and your personality and your likes and your dislikes to affect your circle. And that's all it's about, is affecting your circle. And how do you do that? By being positive, by loving and caring and investing in people. That's how you do that. But it's all springboards off of a relationship with Jesus. So if you don't know Jesus, simply, how do they do it, Gina? How do they start a relationship with Jesus? Just
repent of your sins and ask Jesus to forgive you.
Yeah, and just ask him to come into your heart and to your life. It's a simple prayer. Sit down and have a cup of tea and say, Jesus, I need some tea time with you. I need to talk to you. And trust me, he'll meet you there, right? Yeah. And then you'll be amazed at what follows, right? All right, well, that's it.
I hope this episode shed a little light on us two crazy Cajun girls and kind of gave you a little fun insight into us. We have more topics up our sleeve that are more funny. We have some serious ones. We have all kind of variety of all kind of things coming up.
Yes.
And stay tuned, share, like, subscribe, send to your friends, and share the tea.
And comment. If there's something, like Gina said before, if there's something there's a topic that you would like to be addressed, or something you're going through and you want to have a little tea time, we don't mind doing that with you, right? Because we're Kingdom Sisters, all of us together. We're here to support each other, laugh. She wants to cry. I think she's dying to cry. I'm not really dying to cry. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know what it is in her and crying. Maybe you need some deliverance. But anyway, let's just say we're here for you. All right? And until next time, teacups up.
See you next time, heifers.
Bye.
Fellow heifers. All right.
Hey! Spilling stories hot and loud, laughing way too hard, way too proud. Every little thought on their minds, they say it all.